Spin round and round, making some sense within no sense at all. You ever get a song stuck in your head? This song's been stuck in my head. It won't jump out, you know? You ever have that happen? Like for like days, not just like one or 2 days. Days and days. So guys, looks like lots of stuff's going on, huh? And it seems like, upon further review, as we say, that the people who have been conducting this experiment for the last couple of years on humanity, I mean, they already succeeded in doing this before they started this experiment, but it really ramped up during the experiment, which is what? It almost seems like when you talk to people that they live in some kind of an alternative reality. A reality where the only thing that they're capable of listening to is anything that is put out by corporate media. I can't even call it mainstream. I mean, it is mainstream, but it's corporate. Corporate and government. I don't want to say government approved, because obviously we know that these are private companies, but let's say publicly approved media. And this is the only things that people are capable of listening to. And or they're so busy with their bricklaying, like in Mitzrayim, like in Egypt, that they consume media in a what's called a drive-by way, right? So then you come to them and you show them, well, look, this is actually, I'm showing you reality, right? It's not just my reality, I'm showing you actual reality. In reality, what is going on? And the only thing that they can say, their first reaction is conspiracy theory. You're showing me a conspiracy theory. Where is this written? Where was this written? This is pure speculation. This is an outrageous claim. This is unproven. This is debunked. Then they send you, a whole fact check website. No, comma. This is not whatever, whatever it is that you're claiming. My friends, at best, they just don't, they see what it is, and they kind of like make a face, and they say, but how do we know it's not, and then they start doing this whole bargaining thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I said this before. We are obviously in the 5, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross 5 stages of grief. We're for sure right now in the denial stage. Denial bordering on anger, probably anger really. Some of my friends are actually, I gotta give them kudos, they're in the acceptance stage. They're getting to the acceptance stage. There's another rubric that shows that there's, after acceptance, there's actually revenge, meaning the people who realize that they've been had want to go after their abusers. That's a kind of an addition to that. But the basic thing is acceptance, right? That's the final stage, right? So, my friends, it seems like to me that we are basically living in some kind of Soviet existence. My friends, what do I mean by that? When my parents came to some of their friends and they told them, things that the government was doing with dissidents, with refuseniks, you know what the response of those people was? At their work, some of their friends even, relatives, exactly the same responses that I just outlined to you. Speculation, conspiracy theories. I forgot to say one thing. They ask, oh, but where do you get this information? This is not written in the news. How do you find this stuff? I don't know. You just need to know where to look. You just have to want to. It's called digging. It's called being interested. It's called caring. I don't know. You find it. How did people find, ladies and gentlemen, how did people find information that's not written in the news? How do I find information about stuff that the news didn't publish or the news hasn't published yet? They do it all the time. People do it all the time, ladies and gentlemen. It's called living life. It's called getting wind of stuff. I don't know. How do people, guys, you ever watch sports? How do people in the sports industry get information about, I don't know, there's some player that's going to be traded before it happens? Because they're in the industry. They're in it. Or I don't know, even if they're not in the industry, they care and they figure out a way how to get the information. And you know what? 90% of the time you see the information come out in the public and these people knew about it way beforehand. Because they wanted to. They got it somehow. I don't know. As my father likes to say, molcha in Russian, silently. Okay? So, my friends, we live in a kind of Soviet existence. There's two different groups of people. One group of people is actually getting the information. And another group of people either are not getting the information and or refuse to see the information that's presented to them by the group of people that are actually getting the information. They cannot. They can't. It's like what Dr. Sherry Tenpenny said. It's sort of a cognitive dissonance. It's too much. It's too much to know that you made a choice to put something horrible in your body. It's too much. It's you know, I have friends the past few days, 2 friends actually. So what you're telling me is I'm gonna, you know, has v'shalom. I said no, not necessarily. You know, first of all, show me you know, your Schmack's card. There's a certain particular batch number on it, you know, and depending on the batch number, we'll see. Also, there's things you can do to mitigate, you know. Baruch Hashem, I guess. But that's actually the point, you know. What I don't really understand, I never understood from day one. Maybe I'm different. I'm the kind of person, I've always been like this. If I know that I put some garbage into my body, I want to know. I want somebody to tell me, because I'm not scared of that. Why? Because I know myself. I know that I'm going to go scour the globe, how to mitigate it, or I don't know, detox from it, or whatever. I know that that's what I'm going to do. I'd rather know than not know, because not knowing is horrible. It's the worst. Why would you not want to know? Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. Why would you not want to know? I don't understand. Why would you not want to hear even horrible things? It boggles the mind. So, my friends, you know, these are the same people, I guess what people call cultural Marxists, that fomented this environment. They this whole situation that we're living in, where people are literally, you know, again, it's kind of like a friend of my family. She told my mother, "You have your sources, I have mine." So what does that mean? You're getting emes and I'm getting sheker? My friends, you know how I know who to trust? Very simple. I don't know who to trust, but I know who to not trust. That's a start. Who to not trust are the people that come out and say, "Hey guys, our product doesn't work unless everybody takes the product. It's the fault of the people who didn't take the product that the product doesn't work." My friends, who ever heard of such a thing? And also, you gotta take our product. It works. We're gonna fire you from your job if you don't take it. But if something happens, we're completely not liable. We're not responsible. We didn't force you. My friends. So that's already a start. I know who to not trust. Then we could talk about who we can trust, who we can believe, what's true, what's not true, what's a half lie, what's a half truth, what's incomplete information, whatever it is, what's misinformation, what's different. Ladies and gentlemen, these terms, by the way, misinformation and disinformation, also Soviet. Also Soviet, you know, misdirection tactics and all kinds of mind games. My friends, how do we know that this whole thing is a mind game? Oh, everybody's dying. We don't have time. It's an emergency. Okay, here's a treatment that we came up with. It works. Oh, but we got to do studies. We got to do studies. And yeah, but I thought everybody's dying. I thought it's an emergency. We don't have time for studies. We got to do what works in real time. on the ground, in the trenches. But take this, because it's urgent. People are dying. Come on. What, you want to kill more people? You have blood on your hands. My friends, mind F of the century. That's all I can think of. Mind F of the century. Soviet existence. Soviet media tactics. American Pravda. Talk to you soon.